The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks, go.
The Canucks beat the Florida Panthers and the Oilers couldn't. Do the math, all right?
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. My name is Kyle Bowen, here at the Don't Doze Art Lab. You're watching Locked On Canucks, and the Canucks finally did it, okay? This comment's going to get you emotional. It's going to get me not emotional, but this is life. Dan Jardine saying that he's been a hockey fan for 66 years. And this is his first championship. And I didn't know you swore in the comment. I just showed that on YouTube. I'm sorry. But if the ups are watching this, just know that's the most Canucks tweet of all time or comment of all time. And it deserved to be showed. Okay. So if I get fined for that, it's all good. It's for the city. And for Dan, this means a lot. Seeing his organization win a Calder Cup and AHL championship is something. It's making him feel away, and I wouldn't be surprised if he cracked the cold one and if he's celebrating, because life is life, and the truth is the Canucks did it. Okay, the Abbotsford Canucks, led by Manny Malhotra, led by Arturs Silovs, led by Linus Karlsson and Archdeep Bains and Max Sasson, they did it. They did it. And this organization, right? They really did it. What does this all mean, though? I'm going to go through this episode really quick. I got Bounce coming in pretty soon. He's going to be making some music, so I got to shut the puck up, okay? We talking about the Calder Cup, not the Stanley Cup, okay? I can't kick that guy out of the studio to do this episode for this one. All in all, though, what does this mean? It means a couple of things. First off, let's get positive about the organization itself, okay? Because this is a Canucks thing, not just an Abbotsford thing. It's a Canucks thing. And a lot of people, including me, because I'm disgruntled, I'm pessimistic, I'm balding, I'm getting older, right? Dan Jardine is 66, I'm 32, right? I'm in the same demo. But this has a lot to say. I'm glad Trevor joined me. This championship has a lot to say about the whole organization, like Rutherford and Alvin and Rutherford and him being the president, and just that serious culture that they've been trying to input into the DNA here. And they've been around for 3 years. And, with the pro club, last year was nice, right? And now this time with the junior club, bro, they won a championship. So overall, those two and the organization itself and all these new faces, I know I can't be holding on to the Calder Trophy like so closely, but it does say something about progress, right?
Progress, man. Progress was made tonight. And, man, round of applause for all Canucks fans who, again, it's been 110 combined years of Vancouver Canucks hockey, along with their AHL affiliate. 55 years no cup in Vancouver. 55 years no cup in the AHL either until tonight for the Abbotsford Canucks. And like you mentioned, progress is made. It does mean something for the NHL organization. But round of applause to the Abbotsford Canucks and all Canucks fans like Dan Jardine, man. Oh, baby, I see in the comments here. Holy, man. I don't know if you shouted this out already, but Dan Jardine, one of our comments, 66 years of fan of hockey, his first championship. Feels good. Man, oh, man. Tonight is a night for Canucks Nation. Let's go, baby.
It's a night, it's a little bit. It's a little bit of something. It's progress. They've only been around for 3 years, this whole regime change. And, they got 1 second-round appearance against the Oilers, took them to 7. If Pettersson doesn't have tendonitis, we're beating the Oilers. And, yeah, this year, if the pro club just sucked, but they got a Calder Cup, and that just shows that the floor and the depth and the culture that to some point is there, it actually makes me think a lot about JT Miller. Like, if JT Miller and what if, quote unquote, he was, I don't want to wish injury, but let's just say like he wasn't playing on the Canucks this year. I wonder how things look in totality, because the culture was ruined up here, but down there, it was never rude. Like you even saw the way they celebrated. The Abbotsford Canucks celebrated harder than the OKC Thunder when the OKC Thunder won a championship. Like, no, it actually meant a lot to them. I saw guys stumbling over, and obviously it's a championship and it's a legitimate accomplishment. Like that's some beautiful stuff that happened in Charlotte, courtesy of the Abbotsford Canucks. But it meant a lot to them, and again, that's an organizational thing. Like they want to. Like they got rid of JT Miller. They can't, quote unquote, they didn't come out and say it, but they don't want divas. They don't want divas in the room. And they want a team, and they got a team in Abbotsford, and they had somewhat of a team last year, and they were able in Vancouver, and they're able to accomplish a little bit. And yeah, overall, I just can't brush past this and say it's like a little thing. It's actually like progress, and progress is good. It's something that you got to hold on to. Now, Trevor, I do have to go ASAP, and I told the listeners this because KGB's already here, and again, it's the Calder Cup, not the Stanley Cup. Okay, I can't tell this guy not to change his session up. Okay, so I got to let this guy cook up. I want to bring up this point too, and I'm going to leave you to it. Put all the pressure on you. What does this really mean for the Vancouver Canucks? Yeah, it's the progress they made, but B, most importantly, some of these guys, their trade value has risen. Okay, that is just the truth. Even if it's a little bit, it's risen, and that matters. We talked about the Jake Gensel trade earlier this week. But for Arturs Silovs, this guy's a legitimate top prospect, and he's a winner. He's clutch. I don't give a puck. Like, this guy's clutch. Say what you want. He did what he did early on this season with the Canucks and how much he, quote-unquote, failed without Ian Clark and any stability in that dressing room. But, yeah, he was a bad NHL goalie this year. That all being said, 3 years in a row, this guy's been able to be clutch in the toughest spots in whatever hockey environment he was in, right? Latvia did his thing, got a statue. Last year with the Canucks, he took the Canucks to Game 7 against the Oilers, okay? He made Draisaitl have migraines, okay? They took years off their life. No, Arturs Silovs on a quote-unquote stacked Canucks team was like the fourth most important player. Like I feel as if he won more games for the Canucks last year than Quinn Hughes in the playoffs. Like, he was good. Like, he had some standout moments. All in all, look what he did this year with the Abbotsford Canucks. Now a champion, now an MVP playoff MVP or whatever. So it leads me to this. Again, with him being a top prospect, Trevor, literally think about this closely and examine it, because I think there's a chance if the Canucks lose Arturs Silovs, they're going to make a mistake. Because at some point, for a team that's been this bad for this long and now has Thatcher Demko with the Papatias Papalitis, and they have Kevin Lankinen, who's been an NHL starter for one season, like, there's unpredictability all over the place, and I think it's time to put legitimate respect on Arturs Silovs' name. Like, he's not a nobody. He's a legitimate prospect, and he's clutch when it matters most, and I don't want to get rid of guys like that, and he plays the most important position in sport. Like, yeah, all in all, I'm going to let you to that. Go Canucks, go. Shout out to the progress, and shout out to Arturs Silovs, man. Thanks, Trevor.
All right, yeah. One love to you, Colin. One love again to you listening and to the Abbotsford Canucks. A couple more minutes for me here, too, on Locked On Canucks. First and foremost, I celebrated my ball hockey championship last summer harder than the OKC celebrated last night. I mean, man, oh man, I know circumstance there was something else, but to your Abbotsford Canucks and to Arturs Silovs, we got to start asking the question now, and we'll talk about it this week. Does Arturs Silovs' run in the AHL playoffs make Thatcher Demko a more likely trade candidate? Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because trading Thatcher Demko is incredibly risky. Giving Arturs Silovs a job next season, gifting him one at the NHL level, that's risky too. But Kyle's got a point. I mean, the guy's been so clutch for Latvia, for the Abbotsford Canucks, hell, for your Vancouver Canucks last year. And now you really got to start asking the question. I'm starting to see comments pop off with, yes, it does make Thatcher Demko a more likely trade candidate for your Vancouver Canucks. But in terms of what this means for the big picture, we heard Patrick Levine talk about this time and time again, building the culture in Vancouver. And we said it throughout the season. I mean, the floor on this team is high at the AHL and the NHL level. It really was the star power that affected the Canucks this season. Some unforeseen circumstances, of course. But going to Arturs Silovs again, undoubtedly the playoff MVP, wins the AHL playoff MVP. Again, he's got NHL potential written all over him for his future. There are guys like that who tear it up in the AHL playoffs, but not really to the extent that Arturs Silovs just did, winning 5 freaking rounds, almost breaking the shutout record in the AHL playoffs. Man, oh man, I mean, Arturs Silovs, again, whether it's in Vancouver with another team, the dude is going to be an NHLer. And talking to the depth on the rest of the team, I mean, let's start up front. The Linus Karlsson, Max Sasson, Archie Baines line. I mean, the AHL really is a developmental league, but it's often when you get to this level, teams are often led by their veteran players. And with Karlsson, Sasson, and Baines, you get 5 guys or 3 guys who are all under, the age of 26, right? Karlsson being the eldest of the 3 at the age of 25. He had a monster postseason. He looks like he could finally have some NHL potential. I mean, that wasn't a guy who last season we really thought had NHL potential. Archie Baines, I mean, again, this guy always fights through and through, goes undrafted, signed by the Vancouver Canucks. Even this postseason had his struggles early on. I don't really think he was playing bad. The bounces just weren't going his way, but he kept fighting through. A beautiful setup to Linus Karlsson win that game. Archie Baines is a guy I wouldn't count out to have a full-time NHL job. Maybe not next season, but in the near future, because the dude is theoretically entering his prime. And again, he just gets better and better as time goes on. And finally, Max Sasson, I should say. I got to get the name pronunciation right. It's Max Sasson. Again, his dad was there in Charlotte, much like he was at a number of Canucks games this season. Max Sasson might have the most projectable NHL upside of the 3, just because he's such a defensively good center as well. Makes so many good plays on the boards, a top penalty killer for Abbotsford, one of the fastest guys in the AHL. That matters in an NHL game that's only getting quicker and quicker. So all 3 of those guys with NHL potential. On defense again, Victor Mancini just turned 23 years old. Looks like a man amongst boys often in these AHL playoffs. But not only that, I think it's his defensive floor that gives him such a high upside. Again, played top pairing for Abbotsford alongside Guillaume Brisebois. Top penalty killing as well. And of course, a huge frame, moves really well. Kirill Kudryavtsev, 7th round pick. Did he even make a mistake in this postseason? Who is this guy? One of the last picks of 2022. Barely 21 years old, leads the AHL playoffs with a plus 18. No player was above plus 11 after Kirill Kudryavtsev. He's got an NHL future. Ty Mueller, I think, played top 6 center throughout this whole AHL playoffs. He's looking like a gem as a 4th round pick as well. And of course, Jonathan Lecker-Mackey, again, has the highest upside of anyone I mentioned. Arturs injured for the whole playoffs. We're seriously looking at 10 guys who are a part of this run who have legitimate NHL potential. That matters for an organization like the Vancouver Canucks, who needs players. And again, they've got a lot of competition, a lot of potential players on this roster. Again, Dan Jardine, man, one of my favorites in the comments, saying half a dozen of these guys can make the leap. I think there's 10 guys here who can make the leap. Can I count right? Silovs, Karlsson, Sasson, Baines, Mancini, Kudryavtsev, Lecker-Mackey, Ty Mueller, and who else did I say? Arturs. Okay, that's 9 guys. Okay, not 9 guys. 9 guys who I think could easily make the leap to your Vancouver Canucks or be a trade chip for the Vancouver Canucks as they look to improve the team this offseason. So your Vancouver Canucks are in a good spot, aside from the fact they got Francesco Aquilini. Apparently the team's not for sale. That's a whole other thing, man. Francesco Aquilini, apparently the one reason I'm on X waiting for this guy's ludicrous tweets to come out. That's a story for another day. But I got to get out of here. Again, go Abbotsford Canucks, go. They did it, man. They did it. The Calder Cup. Let's go, man. And I'll end it by this because, hey, Edmonton Oilers, 0 cups this season. The Canucks, they got a cup. You've been listening to Locked On Canucks. Peace.